Hey, what's going on, family? It's your man, Minister C again. Just reaching out, or I guess you consider it reaching out with another real moment for this week. Like I said, I'm going to try to continue to do these things on a weekly basis. This is only my second iteration of it, so we'll see how it goes. Y'all just keep me prayed up. But what was put on my heart to share this week is about the selfishness of solitude. And that's something, unfortunately, I can speak a lot about. I'm not a person that has always had to find myself the center of attention or like to be around a bunch of people or just in those high energy environments. That's just never who I was. I was content, being off to the side or even like, back in the corner somewhere, just being able to kind of see everything from a certain vantage point and feeling that safety of not having to be in the forefront. But one thing I that was brought to my attention or brought to my understanding, especially at this point in my walk as a believer, is that if I continue to put myself in those situations, meaning that if I can find myself to certain areas, or if I limit my exposure to certain things, or if I just do whatever I need to do to kind of stay out of the way, then I miss out on the opportunities to understand what things need my attention, what things need my gifts, what things need my prayers. It's going to be very difficult for me from the comfort of my home or, you know, if I'm at work or wherever I am, if I just go to a few distinct places to understand where the need is if I'm just going from A to B and B to C and then back to A. That is a very limited area to cover. And I don't believe that that's what the word wants us to do. I don't believe that that's what we as believers should be doing. And here's why I believe that. One of my favorite passages in the Bible, is in Ephesians, from Ephesians 6, where it talks about the whole armor of God. And as I was studying this one at one point, I got to the verse where it talked about having your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel. And I found it very interesting that of all the anatomy, that is the part of your body that will be shod with the preparation of the gospel. And as I continued to study, I understood it more is because the gospel is meant to be taken to other areas. We're supposed to take this good news, meaning we're supposed to take our gifts, services, and that good news with us to be of service. So if I continue to keep myself cocooned up, if I continue to keep myself out of the way, so to speak, what I'm doing is I'm denying myself the opportunity to understand where the needs are. What I'm doing is I'm denying myself the opportunity to be of service where my gifts could fully be implemented. And what I'm doing is I'm putting myself in a position where I'm ignorant and blissful in that ignorance. That's where that saying, like, being blissful in your ignorance comes from. It's when you don't know what else is going on out in that outer world, when you don't understand some of the things that really need attention, you can just sit here and make up what you want and be blissful in your ignorance because you're unaware of where the needs are. We as believers shouldn't put ourselves in that position. We as believers should be in a position where we always want to be of service to somebody. And you can't be of service if you're keeping yourself hidden away or sectioned off or confined to a certain area. There are people out there that need your specific gifts. The gifts that God predestined you with, the gifts that he knitted you together in your mother's womb with. Though there are people out there that need those gifts. And when you keep yourself in this fortress of solitude, so to speak, in reality, what it is an act of selfishness. You're keeping all of these gifts that were meant to be shared with the world to yourself. So I had to come to an understanding with that because, like I said, I'm not a person that always likes to be at the forefront. Heck, even doing these things is a challenge for me at times because I don't necessarily like being the center of attention. But what I do understand and what I'm continuing to grow and learn in is that there's a calling on my life that requires me to do things that are outside of my comfort zone. And the only way I'm going to be able to be of service and the only way I'm going to be able to grow and develop and the only way I'm going to be able to finally get to that place where God can bless me is if I move past those things that had me confined. Those, as I just preached about, those fears, those anxieties, and those reservations. So my message to you is this: understand that you were given a certain set of gifts to share, and understand that those gifts are definitely needed. But if you're keeping yourself out of the way, if you're not putting yourself in positions where you can be of service, then you're actually, again, doing not just yourself, but someone who needs your gifts a disservice. So that was the real moment for this week. I pray you guys continue to tune in. Let me know if there's something that you want to talk about or something that's just on your mind. Post it on the page, and I'll try to make sure I get that incorporated in one of our real moments. Until then, you guys have a blessed day. Peace.